It's been almost a month since I last done a Sporthop Series episode, and as much as it's hard the fact that I haven't been able to watch any MLS soccer game or any sports event for almost a month now, it's even more difficult the fact that I haven't been doing a Sporthop Series episode and I haven't actually attend one of these lower league games and do some ground hop in almost a month, because this has been my hobby for 2.5 years, and the fact that I haven't done my favorite hobby for a month now, it is truly kind of heartbreaking. But like I said many times before, hopefully this whole pandemic eventually will go away, and that once it go away and once the sports world will get back to normal, you know for sure I am going to start pumping up some Sporthop Series episode and trying to do as much ground help as possible to make up of the difficult situation that we are in right now. But with that being said, despite the fact that there isn't any sports event that is going on and I can't really ground hop right now because all the lower leagues has been canceling their game because of this pandemic, let's kind of do a little recap of some of these games I've attended. And that I did say before, I was going to do a recap of all the, well, not all of the games in the Sporthop Series, but probably some of the most memorable ones, because I have done over 150 episodes in the Sporthop Series, and I have done many different sports like soccer, basketball, hockey, and stuff like that. And, you know, I know majority of the Sporthop Series that I've done are kind of like soccer games, but hopefully I will also do a couple of these recap videos of the Sporthop Series that is other sports besides the soccer games that I of course would attend. But the first one that I am going to do in this kind of like mini series that I'm going to do is talk about the crazy game between Dynamo FC versus AFC San Francisco Hearts. And I think I mentioned it before that this was going to be the first episode of this recap of the Sporthop episode that I have done for the past 2.5 years, because this was by far the craziest game I have ever attended, and to this day I don't think I have ever seen a crazier game like this, and I'll probably won't be able to see a crazier game like this unless if there's going to be something very similar to that, or if this is going to be happening in a cup final where this is going to be the action that it is, because it is going to be tough to top this as the craziest Sporthop Series that I have ever done of all my time doing Sporthop Series episode for 2.5 years. Now, I will leave a link in the description below in terms of this video. This was back in Sporthop episode 35, and I believe I did this, I think 2 years ago. Yeah, almost 2 years ago from this day. So if you, of course, watch this video, bear in mind the video quality of this Sporthop series is not going to be as good as some of the Sporthop Series episode that I've done, because back then I was still using my iPhone 6 Plus phone as my camera. And yes, I'm gonna admit it, I actually use my phone to actually capture these matches, even though I've been repeatedly saying that I've been using a camera to do that. Yeah, that was a lie. I actually just use an iPhone 6 to do it. Although, to be fair, it's kind of not really a lie, because I still use a camera to do it, except I'm just using a phone camera to do it. And let's just say my iPhone 6 Plus, when I first started doing these Sporthop Series, I actually realized that part of the lens of my iPhone 6 Plus was cracked. So when you actually watch the video, you see this kind of like little lines right near the bottom, or right near the top left of the corner. Yeah, that's the part where it cracks, and since the light reflect that cracked part, it kind of put this kind of thin light right here on the top left of the corner. And I didn't realize that until probably 15 episode after I'd done this, and that I had to, every time I gotta make sure I don't put, like, this only happened if I put it in one way of me recording the phone, but if I put it the other way, and if I kind of record this backwards and kind of have the camera upside down, it won't have that reflected lights like that. And obviously now I don't have to worry about this whole issue, because I have recently just got a new camera, and now I don't have to worry about the cracked lens that I had to deal with for so long in my Sporthop Series episode. So bear in mind, if you do watch that video and the quality might be poor, don't just leave in the comments and saying, man, this has been one of the poorest quality video that I've ever done. Well, again, this was back when I don't have a good phone to capture the video, and my lens was partially cracked, and I didn't really want to fix it because it would have cost a lot of money to try to fix it. But either way, before I talk about what happened in this game takes place at Doherty Valley High School Stadium, which is in San Ramon. And what's interesting is that there was another game that I attended at the same venue, which I will also probably do a recap video of that Sporthop Series episode, because that was also another crazy game where I watched the longest penalty kick shootout that I've ever witnessed in my life, and that one actually lasted 13 rounds, and it also, of course, happened in this game, and it was also a UPSL Wild West final. And the reason why I want to say this was even more crazier, because yes, we did have a marathon kind of penalty kick shootout in that game, and it was really crazy of what happened in the shootout, but this was just throughout the whole game, and just so much drama that happened in this game that it was just so unpredictable of who actually is going to win this. The kickoff of this game was 7:30 p.m. and the date was April 22nd, 2018 when this, well, I think it might have been the 21st when this game takes place, because when I uploaded this video, it was the very next day. This was also back when I always go, once I get home, I usually just jump on Adobe Premiere Pro and start editing the hell out of this video and upload it overnight. Now, of course, I don't do that anymore because I don't have my desktop anymore, and the laptop that I use to still edit and upload the video, well, I can't not let this computer run all night, or else it is going to broke. And this laptop that I have right now, in terms of recording this video, is my last resort in terms of recording, and my last resort of actually using a computer. If this thing breaks, then I could be in serious trouble in terms of not just me doing videos, but also me doing works and schoolwork and stuff like that. But anyway, going back to this, so the first thing I want to talk about is that, I of course went to this game, and that I found out that it took them 15 minutes for the lights to turn on. And the reason why I want to mention that is that I think at part of the video, there was like one clip where you basically just could not see anything whatsoever besides the twilight sky, and that you just cannot see the pitch whatsoever. Now, that's partially due to the fact that again, I had a pretty bad camera back then when I record this video, but it's also due to the fact that for whatever reason, they decided not to turn on the lights until 5 minutes after the sunset, and that was a huge issue because the lighting wasn't that good. You started to see some kind of grainy footage because of the fact the lights weren't on. So yeah, it was kind of frustrated, the fact that they didn't decide to turn the lights on. I'm not quite sure whether or not if they had some issue with the lights or whatsoever, or did they feel like they want to just make sure that they get enough lights, or they want to save as much electricity as possible, and that they basically just turn it on the latest possible before you have to turn on the floodlights and able to see the pitch. So yeah, it took them 15 minutes to do that, and then just 6 minutes after the lights finally turn on and I can actually see the pitch for once, Dynamo FC actually took a 1-0 lead early in this game, and I think in that video I said that this was a goal that was kind of against the run of plays, because AFC San Francisco Hearts were by far the better team heading into that point, and Dynamo out of nowhere, with one good chance, they were able to put away and take a 1-0 lead. And throughout this first half, I thought AFC San Francisco Hearts, if I remember from what I said, was by far the better team, and yet somehow, in some way, Dynamo were heading into halftime with the lead, and they of course doubled that lead in the 36th minute when they of course won a penalty on a handball and eventually score on that penalty to take a 2-0 lead heading into halftime. Now in the second half, this is when all hell broke loose in terms of what happened, and this is when we started to see just an absolute goal fest. And it happened between 2 periods of the second half. It happened between the 50th and 55th, and then it happened between the 71st to the rest of the game. So the first goal burst happened, as I said, in between the 50th and the 55th minute, and it all started in the 50th minute when AFC San Francisco Hearts was able to cut the lead down to half, and that the score was now 2-1 in favor of Dynamo. And I even said that, AFC Hearts definitely deserved that goal, considered they were by far the better team. And then eventually they would tie it 4 minutes later to make it 2 apiece. And just as you thought that AFC San Francisco Hearts was going to have the momentum over Dynamo immediately retake the lead, and I think it only took them like 30 seconds after AFC San Francisco Hearts got the equalizer and restarted the play before they basically retake the lead to make it 3-2 up into that point. So that was the first part of just a goal burst that happened here in the second half. And then in the 71st minute, that's when we had the second part of just an absolute goal burst, and we saw just almost a goal score every four minutes in this latter part of the second half. And it all started in the 71st minute when AFC San Francisco Hearts would tie it for the second time to make it 3-3 in this game, only for Dynamo to retake the lead and make it 4-3 just 3 minutes later in the 74th minute. Now in the 77th minute, I think before I actually did this video and the last time I talked about how AFC San Francisco Hearts, of course, went down to nine men in this game, which is the fact that they did went down to 9 men and able to make a couple. They were still able to come back twice in the game. I think I actually mistakenly say that they were first went down to 10 men before they actually went down to 9 men for the last 10 minutes of this game, because it turns out when I actually watched the footage of this game, it looked like AFC San Francisco actually went down to 9 men in this game, and I actually didn't realize that they went down to 9 men for the rest of the game until I think around the 85th minute mark. There was actually a little scrimmage between both of these teams, which is unsurprising because we had everything in this game. We had penalty, we have goal scoring burst. Let's add some more drama and add some more scuffle into what already is just a crazy match. And because of that, AFC San Francisco Hearts saw 2 of their player getting sent off, and one of them was the goalkeeper. So they also had to bring in their backup goalkeeper, or I don't remember, did they actually bring up a backup goalkeeper? I think they had to bring in one of their outfield player because they didn't have a backup goalkeeper. And keep in mind, this is a match in the UPSL Wild West Division, which I probably should have said this in the beginning of the video, because I know people are saying that is this kind of a second division match? No, it was more like a 4th and 5th division match. But even for a 4th and 5th division match, this was just absolutely insane. Not just in terms of the scoreline, but also what actually happened in this game. So yeah, they of course had one of their goalkeepers sent off. I don't remember if they actually had an outfield player or a backup goalkeeper. By the way, they had to sacrifice one of their outfield player because whenever you have a goalkeeper they didn't send off, one of your outfield player will have to be sacrificed and substitute in this game, and also another player was sent off. So yeah, the Hearts or AFC San Francisco Hearts was down to 9 men for the last 13 minutes, and with Dynamo having the 4-3 lead, you would think that they probably would have either win this game or maybe score a couple of more goals to make it more comfortable with the way that AFC San Francisco Hearts was just absolutely depleted. But instead, that is not what happened, because 5 minutes later, they would tie it at 4 apiece on a wonderful free kick. And the old cliche is that if you are down to 10 or even 9 men in the situation, one of the best opportunity for you to score a goal is actually from a dead ball situation, because that's when you still have a even advantage in terms of that. And especially when this free kick was in a distance where you can actually shoot toward goal, then this was a biggest opportunity for AFC San Francisco Hearts to tie it. And boy, did they take that opportunity and tie the game at 4 apiece. And you would think that, you would think with AFC San Francisco Hearts got that surprising equalizer, the Dynamo might be a little bit shocked, but you would still think they would eventually win this game, right? And it looked like they did in the 88th minute when they made it 5-4 in this game, and I'm pretty sure up until that point, there was no way in the world that AFC San Francisco Hearts was going to tie this game up for the fourth time in this game, with the way that they're down to 9 men and there's just only like 3 minutes left in the game. Only a miracle would happen in terms of this game to be tied at 5-5 again. But yet, what's interesting is as I was saying this right now, back when I was watching this game, I think right before when AFC San Francisco Hearts did the impossible and just completely defied what I just said a couple of seconds ago, I think during that point I even said that, we saw everything in this game. We saw red cards, we saw penalty, we saw scuffle, we saw incredible goals. We saw some incredible goal bursts that happened where teams scored like 5 goals in a span of just 10 minutes. I thought there's got to be at least something that's going to be happening. Anything was going to be possible with how crazy things was in this game. And Lord and behold, that is exactly what happened. And just literally 10 seconds after I said that, AFC San Francisco Hearts would tie it at 5 apiece. And that it almost feel like either the AFC San Francisco Hearts player heard what I said, that anything was going to be possible, so that they felt extra motivated to score that 5th goal to tie the game up for the 4th time this game, or the fact that probably the lower league soccer gods heard me about how anything could happen in this game, and how just to make this game even more crazier, how about let's have AFC San Francisco Hearts tie the game up for the 4th time while they're down to 9 men, and potentially have a goalkeeper on their side that is an outfield player. You just cannot make it up in terms of how crazy that game was. And, after the game, and when I did my post-game clip, I think I spent upwards around 40 minutes to actually record the right clip so that I could summarize what I saw in this game. And I'm trying to do it less than 2 minutes, because holy crap, I couldn't believe what I just watched in this game. I couldn't believe the drama and the goal fest that I saw in this game, and that, I was just kind of left speechless after I watched this game. And, to this day on, as I said, I think this is probably the best soccer game that I've ever attended in my life, and that I don't think I've attended a game as crazy as this is. But that being said, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this game, and what do you think of this recap? And let me know in the comments below, have you seen anything even more crazier than that? I know some people will say that there's even more crazier thing that happened in the UPSL like this, but for me, this is personally the craziest thing that I have ever seen in a UPSL match, and it's something that I don't think I will probably ever see that again, unless maybe down the line somehow a team would have a 6-6 draw, and that one of their team might be able to tie the game up like 5 times while they're down to 9 men for the last 15 minutes, and that happens in a UPSL final kind of match. But either way, this is going to be something that is hard to replicate. But let me know in the comments below, have you ever seen something like this, or have you seen something even crazier than this? But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.